today's video, I present you guys the ultimate first world problem. Which one of these cars is going to remain in my garage and which one am I going to sell? If you watch my reveal video with the F-Type, you will know how I accidentally kind of acquired this vehicle, and my intentions with it were to buy and sell for a profit. However, is it good enough to beat the R8 and remain a permanent car in my garage? That's what I'm going to hopefully try and figure out today. The fact that I have both of these cars in my possession is completely just mind-blowing, really. It's a bit of a pinch yourself moment, and sadly they both can't remain in my garage as I have bought a house and will be moving in October. So to have, well, to try and run both of these V8s at the same time as a house is completely unrealistic and not feasible. So anyway, which car shall we take out first? I'm thinking because the Jag is the newest member of the stable, we should go out in that first. So the first car in this R8 to V F-Type showdown is of course the V8 F-Type. Now this is the newest car of my kind of collection, if you like, and I feel it's going to take some beating, because what you get as a package for the money with this car is very, very hard to beat. What you really get with this car is two cars in one. You get a comfortable automatic daily cruiser, but then also a bit of a B-road blaster when you put it in dynamic and you hear that exhaust, which is exactly what I like, to be fair. And also it's not really fair to compare this to the R8, but I'm going to anyway. With pure tech, this car being newer, as you'd imagine, has got way more tech. It's got DAB, I can connect my phone without having to do any like aftermarket kind of business. It's got blind spot, automatic high beam, electric seats. It's fully kitted out, and that's what I like. I love the ease and just how good this car is as a package. It looks great, it sounds great, it's got more power than the R8. I will admit that it does not handle anywhere near as good as the R8 through the bends, but when you're on a straight and you just go through the gears and then open the taps, it throws you into the back of the seat. Now, whether or not it feels faster than the R8 is a bit unclear, because it's so usable and effortless in the way it delivers its power. This has more power than the R8 at around 490 brake. The previous owner claims that my R8 is stage 1 remapped to 460. Now, I don't know if that's true. I need to pull it on a dyno, but I can tell you that the orange R8 definitely feels quicker than my old red one. Ooh. More key differences with the F-Type over the R8 is this is 490 brake, which is being sent to the rear wheels. So I feel in this car, I definitely have to pay way more attention and be more alert. It can get very squirrely, giving me a very squeaky bum when I go through the corners, but in the R8 I can pretty much put my foot flat to the floor and I'm reassured, and I just know that the car is going to propel me down the road with no dramas, whereas this, you do have to be a bit careful. This car's also fitted with Pirelli P0s, which I've definitely experienced in previous cars, that only tend to work when they're warm, whereas the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's on the R8 are just a great all-round tyre. I would say they're the best tyres on the market, so that definitely gives me more confidence as well in the R8. This car as well is obviously a convertible, which is lovely. I've not had a convertible for a while now. My last convertible was my MX-5. I've also had many Z4s, and I'm finding this open air drop top experience to be very pleasant. In fact, I've not driven this car once with the roof up. Maybe I'd feel a bit differently with the roof up than I do with it down, and it definitely helps that I've bought the car during a heat wave. So win-win there, really. This car definitely sounds so good. The pops and bangs are just so antisocial. I love it. However, I feel that I have driven this car quite a lot recently, and I did go into a lot of detail in the reveal video of this car. It's actually been a while since I've driven the R8, so I think we should swap cars and take the R8 for a spin. Let's do it in 3, 2, 1. Welcome aboard the R8, and it has been a while since I've driven this car, and I have got to say I have missed this gated manual. Maybe I would miss it if I was to sell this car, but straight away the feeling you get in this car, it's so wide. It's obviously an obnoxious colour, it's bright orange. You feel like you're taking up the whole road, and the presence of this thing on the road, I think, is far superior to the Jag. It's just whether or not it's a better car. Straight away with the manual gearbox and the dials and the whole linear power delivery, it's so much more, well, that's the word, linear than the Jag. It definitely seems as well more of an occasion to drive this car, whereas you could drive the Jag every day. And yes, okay, it says back in the day was classed as the daily supercar. You could drive this every day, but simply I don't, and I don't want to, because the feeling it gives you and the sensation of driving, I just don't want to get used to it. It is so good. And this car, although the Jag has the pops and bangs, this car sounds like a supercar. Brakes are very good. This car also revs all the way up to 8,000 RPM, whereas in the Jag, I'm finding that I'm very quickly hitting the red line. It only revs up to about 6,000 RPM, I think. So I'm finding that I'm so used to just carrying on higher in the rev range, which the Jag won't let me do. Whereas this goes all the way up to 8, and it loves it. It's such a revvy engine. The thing this car does well also, compared to the F-Type, is it's such a little show off. It's such an attention grabber. Again, I know it is bright orange, but you don't see many of these on the road. And that's what people love. Whenever you drive past people, they give you the thumbs up. They nod at you. Whenever you pull up to get fuel, people say, nice car, that's lovely. They want to talk to you about it. And that's just what this car does so well. It makes you feel so special. You can pull up to anywhere, and anyone of any age will want to talk to you about this car. It's so good. And although the F-Type, yes, is a beautiful car, there's just quite a few of them on the road, especially where I live in Coventry. There's just loads of them, and I can see why, because it is a very good car. I do love the F-Type, especially because the F-Type is not only a convertible, but it has working AC, whereas this car does not. And I am absolutely dripping. Today it is, it says it's 30 degrees, it feels more, it feels 35, and I am just drenched. I am so hot. So if I keep this car, I need to fix the aircon issue. I think it's a simple fix, it's not the compressor or anything, but it's just like every R8 ever, the aircon just stops working, doesn't it, which is great. So that's quite a downside. It actually makes me not want to drive this car because I can't, it's just too hot. Also, the R8 has a special place in my heart. The red one that I had last year was my first ever supercar. I've got drawings of R8s in my secondary school art books. I've got pictures of them from back in the day. It was my desktop background on all my computers for many years since the car came out in 2007. So for me, this car is an ultimate poster car. And when my red one sadly caught fire, I feel like I didn't have the time to explore the car at all. It was taken away from me so short on into my ownership. So now I've got this, I do feel like I have unfinished business with the R8. But on the other hand, the F-Type, when it was released in, what, 2014? I just remember thinking, what a beautiful car. And it was Jaguar's kind of relaunch to get into the younger market after making OAP mobiles. And I just remember a family friend bringing one brand spanking new when they first come out round to my house, and I just thought, that is one stunning looking car. So the fact I am now able and lucky enough to own both cars is just absolutely incredible. I cannot believe it. But anyway, let's head back and summarise, or try and summarise, and come to some kind of conclusion of which car I should keep and which car I should sell. There we have it then, a very quick road test of both cars, and although I haven't driven the R8 for a good while, it has kind of reminded me just how much I do love this car. But equally, I do think the F-Type is exceptional value and a lot of car for the money. And when I went around that one corner, I did manage to kick the arse out, which is way more fun and lively than the Quattro system on this. So if I had to come to some kind of conclusion and make a final decision on which car I'm definitely going to sell, if I'm honest, I don't think I can decide. I honestly thought I was going to make this video, drive both cars and be like, oh no, the F-Type's better, or the R8's better, or no, of course I can never sell the R8, it's my baby. But honestly, they're both very, very good cars, and they're very good at what they do in their own right. This definitely gets way more attention because it is the everyday supercar. It's got that supercar presence, but at the end of the day, am I trying to impress other people? Are the other people paying for the services and everything when this car breaks? No. So then do I go for the lower mileage car, which is just so stunning to look at, with more power but does feel a bit heavier and isn't quite as dynamic and direct in the corners as this? It is honestly such a hard decision, and I think the only way I'm going to really kind of decide which one has to go is to put them both up for sale, and whichever car sells first is the winner or the loser. But honestly, this has been such a hard decision. Well, it's not a decision because I've not made my mind up, and I'm incredibly lucky, and I can't believe that this is what I have to decide on in life. It's a bit ridiculous really. But anyway guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Should I sell the F-Type or should I sell the R8? I would be quite interested to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on that. But anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the little notification bell so you do not miss out on any of my future upcoming content with either this car or this car. Only time will tell. Thank you once again for watching guys. Thank you as always for the support, and I'll see you in the next one.